Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and today I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Pisces. If Pisces is your solar, lunar, ascendant/rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. Okay, and let's see what these tea leaves have to say today. All right, all right. Okay, and so our card for this reading is the Three of Cups, which has everything to do with abundance. Yes, we like hearing that, right? Lots of good things coming your way. And so I want to just mention, if you haven't subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell when you do. It is free to subscribe to the channel. And I don't want you to miss any readings as they come out. Okay, so I want to start right here. This is actually such a beautiful image. We have what looks like it looks like a volcano. It looks like an eye, and it also looks like a rooster standing on top of maybe like a little hill. Okay, and then we have a star kind of over here. So let's look at it as the volcano first. You might see the volcano and think, oh, this might be, some kind of big blow up coming. Well, yeah, I think that there is some kind of, outpouring, overflowing. And we can see in the card, let me just hold this up really quick. We can see it overflowing. These beautiful flowers, lotus flowers, kind of bent over. Their vital energies, the beautiful and sacred waters flowing into the pomegranate cups, and they are overflowing abundantly. Okay, so I really think that there is a build up towards something big coming for you. Okay, life moving in the direction that you have wanted it to. Everything kind of forming this beautiful scenario for you. And it is at the brink, right? You're just about to break through into this next period of time that is really going to be quite an awakening for you. With that beautiful eye, we know the eye is that which we see with, okay? And probably the most central eye, your third eye, right there in your, in the middle of your forehead, right? As we like to picture it. But this is really that psychic, emotional, maturity, awareness, clarity, and that is really coming together. That is so helpful in the work that you have been doing, and really is going to be the key to unlocking this, what is it? I don't know. Maybe it's with work. Maybe it's a creative project, your emotional life, romantic relationships, family dynamics, something, okay? But this is really this is the big focus of your life right now. It flows through all things. You know what I'm talking about when I bring it up. We all have many things in our life, but through every cycle, there are at least one or two things that kind of come to the forefront. And we have the rooster on top, okay? And this really is, and it reminds me I just talked about the Tootsie Roll because we have the star and the chicken there, or the rooster, the Tootsie Roll suckers. And if I'm not mistaken, I think there was a rooster on there as well as the cowboy. So it's funny that this keeps coming up in my readings. But aside from that, the sweetness of life, we have the rooster, who is not only an alarm, but a sign of vitality, being in your prime, okay? Leadership, standing on top of this volcano, this eye, this mountain, whatever it is. It is, like I said, at the peak of your positioning. You have ascended, your eyes are wide open, everything is kind of really coming together for you. Not just falling into place, out of happenstance, but you have really worked quite hard to get these elements aligned in such a way that it works in your favor, okay? So this isn't, just the universe giving away freebies all the time. Although, I think the universe definitely is smiling upon you, but I don't like to detract from the precision, from the devotion, from, the many hours of, dedication, sometimes turbulence, turmoil, tears, stress, worry, and the joy and all of the little wins along the way. Okay. It's, these things, our lives, we could have the best luck in the world, but unless we do something with it, unless we do something with ourselves, there is nothing really to gain. Okay, let's see. Now, we have the bird. We have a blue jay here. Okay, and the blue jay, one of my favorite birds. I talk about them fairly often. They come around my my house, and I have a couple pairs of them. They are very intelligent. They are quite territorial. They also like to let you know when they're ready for their breakfast. So I see this and in my mind, I close my eyes and I'm thinking, what does this have to do with the work that you've been doing? Well, I think really it is that part of your mind, the part of your decision making that is quite sharp, very determined. You don't sit in things too long. Maybe you have at times, but in this era of your life, I feel that you are good at making decisions, not just quickly, mindlessly, but you have this relationship to your intuition that is kind of just, it's like a hot knife through butter, right? Just goes right through. You feel, you have the instinct, you consider, and you make your decision. And it's not that you're inflexible. I shouldn't say that, or I don't want to imply that there's an inflexible nature here, because Pisces, you are also really good at when you've made a mistake. When there has been a misstep, you're really good at pivoting. You're really good at looking at something and deciding, okay, I have to go another way. But whatever it is about this time in your life, and I think this really has to do with the clarity and really the self-work. There's been a lot of clearing out of old things in your life. Almost like I get this feeling of being in a room that is it's quite sparse, but in a way that feels functional, that feels decluttered. You feel organized. Your thoughts feel organized. You feel as if you can move through this space without getting kind of tripped up by a lot of different things, right? Or distracted. There's a confidence here too. There's a confidence that has grown as you have found your passions in life and put your time into them. And as we've talked about in the last months, you've had a good deal of success in creating things from the bottom up. And so I think that there is this kind of feeling of I can really do, whatever I put my mind to. Now it's about figuring out what exactly are you going to spend your time with? What are you going to put your mind to? And, and what is that going to end up doing for you, for your, whatever your goals are. And I think ultimately, as I've done in these readings, as I've seen, a lot of it has to do with creativity and making money. And that's the big thing. I also see, as I'm saying this, we have a little family here. 2 people, older people, and then we have some children, okay? And so I feel, even if this is not your family at the moment, or maybe previously with young children, or maybe you don't have children, but there are children in the family, it really doesn't have to be specific, but there is a sense of closeness with family, but there's a separateness where you have this other space in your life to really work on the things that you are working on. Your career is separate from this core family living. And I almost wonder if, when you were younger, if you had, maybe you worked for a family business, or you worked with a family member, a good friend. Maybe your family was kind of involved in your work in some way. Maybe you worked for somebody the family knew. Whatever it was, they were kind of involved in a way that was kind of uncomfortable for you. I think that you always felt like you were kind of limited by this aspect, and I think that you have broken away from that, and that's been happening for a while. But now you're really finding your footing where you're at, the way that you are able to kind of go out into the world, do your thing, focus on that, and then you can come home, and that is a separate thing. And that works for you, I think. And so, yes, I think that's part of where this confidence has also come. Because there's not really the scrutiny of family watching over everything that you do. And that's one of the great things about having a family business is that you have the help and you have the input of the people involved, of the family members involved, but at the same time, it flows through all parts of your life, right? And that can be difficult for some people. So I just want to look at this one and this one. We have a large butterfly. So that self-evolution really, really coming up. And I just feel like this next thing that you are working on, I feel the universe is blessing it for you. And I see this here. We have the angel who is kind of holding something. But I really feel like you've spent some time asking for guidance. Maybe you do have like kind of a guardian angel, a patron saint, deity, some kind of interior dialogue with something other than another person. Although maybe you are in a religion that you do speak to kind of an earthly embodiment. This would be like maybe a minister or a priest or something like this. But I think that you have like a deep connection to your spirituality. And in a way, if it has been directly or not, you have been seeking guidance. And the guidance is there. And I think if you just really follow the signs, symbols, and patterns that are presenting themselves to you with that intuition that you have so aptly honed, I think that this next thing will be so successful. Okay, whatever's coming up, a project maybe, some kind of planning for something. A creative endeavor, whatever it is, I think this is going to be something that consumes the next couple months of your life. And, and with that butterfly, just really, it almost looks like there's two butterflies, really. I just feel like there is a sense of airiness in your life. It's the clarity. Things seem more clear than they ever have for you. Maybe not ever, but recently, in the recent memory, there is not a lot of, and this is the thing I think with a lot of Pisces people is, you all are so talented. You're very innovative and creative, good at what you do. But you get in your own way a lot because I think there's just a lot of self-doubt. There's a lot of avoidance that can happen just to kind of get away from things falling apart. So it's like you will leave the situation before it kind of, dissolves or some problems arise. But I think that in this time, you are not falling into those old coping mechanisms or patterns. You're really going straight into the thing. Okay, now we have a person up here that has a bird's head. Spilled some tea on myself. Okay, we have a person right here with a bird's head, and it looks like somebody kind of lying down. And I just want to mention, somebody asked me in one of my other videos, why do you let the things shift with the water from the way they originally set? Well, it's the tea, first of all, and this is how I read. I don't know how to explain it. We all have our own ways of reading. I don't know. I've seen where people just kind of like I do here, right? But it dries out really quick. I like to leave some of the tea because it really does. I like to see what is also in the tea moving around. And how it moves, it kind of tells me, is this anxious energy? Is this happy? Is there kind of an idleness? Whatever. So I'm going to explain that in some of my videos. I don't, and the other thing is, I just don't, as far as like, even with the symbols, I don't really abide prescribed ways of doing things here. Only because I would not want to keep doing my readings if every single thing was just, very, like I'm reading it out of a book. Okay. And that's, and that's okay if that's how somebody reads. I'm not saying it's not, but I do so many readings that I have to do it the way that I do it. And how it makes sense to me, it doesn't have to make sense to anybody else. You know, so I don't know. I was like kind of perplexed by that, but you know, people read differently. Okay, so we have the person with the bird's head. So the person with the bird's head has been coming up a lot in my readings. And it is a messenger of sorts, but it is also somebody who is very watchful. Okay, and we can think of the bird. Birds are out there, they're sitting around watching things constantly, looking. And it depends on the kind of bird. Some of my little birds that hang out around the house, they're just, they have that like kind of hive mentality. You know, kind of the, just they move together in their little packs, and individually, yes, they're doing things, but then you have some of the other birds that really, they kind of just hang out and watch. They're almost like little surveillance. And they're very perceptive. They're always looking out for danger, food, this kind of thing. So, you know, I feel that there really is this energy of somebody really kind of watching what you're doing. Okay, watching your moves, watching watching for kind of an opening to get into your life. And this is what it feels like. Almost kind of, and I see this one right here, and it looks like somebody who is kind of almost leaned over and casting something. So I kind of almost wonder if somebody is, you know, I wouldn't say like truly using magic within your life, trying to you know, bend your will to some degree, but I do feel like this is somebody who is really studying you so that they can somehow kind of get their in. I think you know who this person is too, and I almost wonder if this is somebody who who has tried to maybe romantically engage you, and you're not interested, and they really just are trying to, you know, work their way into your good, into your, you know, just you wanting to be with them, wanting to maybe date them or whatever, court them. And I see this, I see the laying there, and I almost feel like this is like it's like a smothering feeling in your dreams, kind of, almost like something oppressive, kind of. The air is thick, and just kind of like that, like trying to get away from it, but it just keeps coming towards you. You know, and I feel like this is kind of their energy. It's almost obsessive. It's definitely, it almost feels kind of predatory. I don't know that they're necessarily to that level, but I feel that they think that what they're doing is kind of romantic. Like they want to be the person that you would choose. But it really ultimately, especially in this day and age, you know, people that boundary stomp and stalk and pursue even after there's been clear, like, no, you know, it can feel like a nightmare, like a horror movie, you know, and really. So I say protect yourself, document anything if anything strange is going on. You know, make sure that other people know if this person is really, like, you know, sending you too many messages, if they are, showing up in your life in places they shouldn't be, and, you know, things like this. So just make sure you are being careful, okay? 100%, you know, it's better to be safe than sorry, okay? We don't have to go out and ruin somebody's life if we've construed something, but at least having documentation, so if something were to escalate, okay? I'm not saying go out there and like put them on blast, but I'm saying make sure that you have some kind of documentation, because you never know, you know. I have plenty of communications that I have saved, not because I intend to do anything, but, you know, you never know, especially being kind of, you know, open to the internet. Just really opens us up to all kinds of people, all kinds. So we got to be careful, okay? Now, let's see. We're going to look at the Dreamer's deck, 40 affirmations for pursuing your dreams. I'm going to go ahead and flip through. And it says, I know that I can manifest all that my heart desires. I am ready to receive. Yes. And we have that beautiful flower. It reminds me very much of the lotus over here. And, oops, that's not how that goes. And I'm going to go ahead and say thank you for spending this time with me. It is always such an honor to be able to bring these messages to you. If you would be so kind as to like the video, it really helps the channel a lot. And if you have not subscribed yet, think about doing that. It is free. You can become part of the channel. It does not cost anything. So when you hit the subscribe button, there's the little bell icon. You can hit that. It'll let you know when the next videos are coming out. And Pisces comes out on Thursdays now. What's today? No, Wednesdays. Sorry, excuse me. Wednesdays. And so also there is the schedule for all of the signs. It's in the community post if you are wondering. And what else? Oh, if you want to leave a comment, please do. I read them all. I was up so late. I was up so late last night rereading. Some of them I've read, and I have to go back and respond and stuff. But I was up I finished all of them. I got to the end of the thing, and I just want to say thank you all for sharing your time, sharing your stories, sharing your love, sharing your support. You know, it means so much to me. I am a really sensitive person. So, you know, the connections that I have forged with some of you, that, you know, some of you have been so generous to just be open and vulnerable and, you know, let me know a little about yourselves and so on. It really, it makes doing this work worth it, truly. So, with that, I'll say I love you. We'll talk soon, and take care of yourself.